Okay, on these last couple ones, we're going to be using our calculators because they can get a little scary. So I'm going to use a calculator for this video. But we want to know the rental. We have a rental cost R of a Class C 20-foot recreational vehicle is 129.5 plus 0.15. Now, this information probably won't be put into the equation, so don't try and put it in. Okay, so we need to find a linear function that represents the cost R as a function of miles m driven m. So we want a function R in terms of miles m. And when we look at this, it's going to be, no matter what, we're going to have to pay 129.5. And then we're going to have to pay 15 cents per mile. So that is that first part. Not too bad. Okay, and then the next one, it says, what is the independent and dependent variables? Well, the independent variable is always what the function is made up of. So it's a function of m. So the function depends on m. So the dependent variable is going to be r, which means the independent variable is going to be m. What is the implied domain? And when we're talking about domain, we're always talking about the independent variable, or my inputs. So the domain is going to be miles driven. Now, if we think about it, the miles, we can go from 0 because we can't go negative miles, so we have to start at 0, and we can drive as far as we want. So it's going to really be 0 to infinity. Now, that doesn't mean you can actually go to infinity. That just means there is no bound because we don't have to set a bound because you can drive as many miles just as long as you have enough money. All right. This next part, what is the rental cost when 860 miles are driven? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to find R of 860, which is going to be 0.15 times 860 plus 129.5. Now if we get out our calculator, we have 0.15 times 860, and then we're going to add that to 129.5, and that gives me 258.5. So that means that R of 860 is going to be 258.5. Now don't forget your units. This is dollars because we're talking about revenue. Now, in order to make it easier later on, we want to use this point to graph. So I'm going to take 860 and 258.5 as a point. And we'll use this later. So I'm going to take this guy and move him up here. And then I'm going to erase the rest of this work because we're done with it. You guys don't erase it. I can erase it. All right, now we got to do E. So how many miles were driven if the rental cost was 213? This time we're going to take 213 and we're going to replace it with R of M because the whole cost is going to be 213. And this is when it's going to be 0.15 times M plus 129.5. Now we want to solve for M, so I'm going to subtract 129 from both sides. And we're going to end up getting 213 subtract, 213.8 subtract 129.5. 84.3. So 84.3 equals 0.15 M. Divide by 0.15. Divide by 0.15, and you end up getting 84.3 divided by 0.15, 562. Now it's going to be 562 miles. Now I'm going to use that as a point as well. So my miles is going to be my X value, my inputs. And my Y was 213.8. Now, I'm going to take all this information, not that, all this information, and I'm going to put them on this next page, which I already have a graph ready for us. Oops. I don't know what just happened. Let's try that again. Sorry, guys. All right. So, okay, let's just use this information where it's at, because I don't want to move it, because if I move it, I'm going to end up screwing stuff up. Oh, there we go. Sorry, this is an interesting video. It's just taking a long time and I don't want to redo it. So we're going to take these points and I'm going to call each one of these 100. No, let's not do each one 100. These ones should be by 25. So 25, 50, 75, 100. So 100 should be here. 200 should be here. And we want to go to 258. So 258 is going to be a route where, yeah, that should work. And then the bottom line is going to be 100 each. So 100, 200. Now, when you graph these, the most important thing is to make your scalars correct so you can have a nice little graph. So one of our things is going to be at 860, 258. So 860, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 860, and 258. 258. It's going to be about right here. I should mark that green since we made it green before. And then we're going to do this guy right here, 562, 62, 213. So 213 is going to be about right here. And then we also know that if we go 0 miles, we're going to be spending 129. So that is going to be about right here. So if we take this line, hopefully we did a pretty good job. No, well, sort of. Some of the points may not be exact, but we can always make them exact. So that would be the graph. And make sure you label these. So this was miles, and this is my revenue. Oh,